Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm finally going to be testing out the Dragun Beauty Dragonfire Skin Perfecting Potion, which is their color corrector, along with the Dragun Beauty Dragon Heart Transformation Face Powder. So I'm going to be incorporating both of these into my routine. Of course, this is going to serve as my corrector for today. And this I am going to try to brighten the under eye area with. Now, before we move on, let's cover some basic information on each product. This here is the powder. It comes, or the powders rather, comes with two different shades, a peach shade and a yellow shade. It retails for $35 US. Now, from everything that I have read, these are supposed to brighten the under eye area or brighten any area along the face. You can use them together, you can use them individually, and this is going to be like the last step to our makeup routine. This also claims to be a creamy and buildable formula. It includes cocoa seed butter and vitamin E in order to deliver a silky feel. Let's see here. I mean, they do feel silky, but not super silky. They also include pearl pigments, and that is what is going to provide us with the brightening effect. I'm not one to really brighten the under eye area too much. I really like to just, conceal, correct, and be done with it, or correct and conceal in that order and be done with it. So I'm not one to really try to highlight the under eye area, but I am going to do that for today. Now, as far as the corrector, this is what it looks like right here. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it already. It retails for $25 US. This is supposed to work well on all skin tones, but I personally wouldn't use something this deep on my medium complexion. I would use something like this, or I would recommend someone use a shade like this if they're of a deeper skin tone. For me, I like to stick to more peach correctors, just because I feel like I don't need a heavy, deep, red or a heavy orange in order to correct the under eye area. That's just not what I prefer, at least not on my complexion. I like something like this. This gets the job done, no problem. This is the Bobbi Brown corrector in the shade Peach. I also really like this one right here. This one here is from Becca. It is their under eye brightening corrector in the shade Medium to Deep, which is more of a peach. So these two, very similar. I like to stick with peach personally, but who knows? Maybe this one will work out too. Now, this is supposed to neutralize everything from purple, blue, gray discoloration to dark circles and beyond. So of course I'm going to be using it under here. This is going to be our first step to our makeup application. It's going to create a perfect layer for light, medium, and full coverage foundations. You see, and that's the issue that I have with this particular shade, is that if I'm not necessarily going for a full coverage anything for the day, but I still want to brighten the under eye area, if I apply something this deep onto the under eye area without using a full coverage concealer on top of it, you're going to be able to see it. So anyway, whatever. Let's just try it. Okay, so we're going to start with the corrector, of course. I'm not going to go too heavy on it though, because I don't want the orange underneath the eyes. Although I'm going to be using pretty full coverage concealer, I still don't want it to be too much. I'm just going to be placing a little bit of this here and a little here. All right, so I'm reading some of the tips and tricks. It does state here on their Dragun Beauty website that a little goes a long way. So start light, build and blend to your desired results. I think this is probably as deep as I'll take it. When applied, give the product a moment to set. Dragonfire will stay in place and not mix in with your foundation. Okay. All right, so I'm going to blend it out with my damp beauty blender. All right, so now that that's there, I'm going to let it set for a little bit. And while I do that, I'm going to work on the rest of the face. All right, that is pretty dry, but like I said, it's really deep. So if I were to want medium coverage for today, you would probably be able to see the orange sitting underneath my eyes. But that's just me speculating. Let me try it. I'm gonna grab a medium coverage foundation. Hold on. I'm gonna place a little bit of this on the back of my hand. All right, so I've blended it out all over the back of my hand. Looks similar to what I have going on underneath my eyes. Now, today I am going to be wearing a full coverage foundation and a full coverage concealer on my face. But like I said, what if there are days where I want a medium coverage foundation and a medium coverage concealer, but I still want the darkness to kind of, you know, be minimal, which is why I'm going to still color correct for the day. I want to see whether or not you will be able to see this orange through a medium coverage concealer or through a medium coverage foundation. Because if you can see it through the foundation or through the medium coverage concealer, then of course that's going to limit the use that I'm going to get out of this corrector, since I'm only going to be able to truly use it with like full coverage something. So let's see here. So this is a little bit of the foundation. I'm going to apply it to like half of this. So this is like what I would use on my face, right? You can see the orange right through. Let me grab a little bit more. Yeah, you can, it looks just like a really orange foundation now. This is what the foundation looks like on its own. So that's what it looks like on its own. That's what it looks like on top of this corrector. So let's say I was gonna be using this corrector like along my mouth, like around my mouth. Let's say I had really dark, like a lot of darkness around here that I wanted to obviously cancel out. Then I probably wouldn't use it with a medium coverage foundation, because then you'd be able to see it, like you can see it. Now let's try the concealer. Where's my medium coverage concealer? So this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear concealer. I really like it, but I use this on like lighter days because it doesn't conceal the under eye area completely. So let me apply a little bit of this here. So I'm applying it there. And I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender, just like this side that I have not yet used, to blend this out. So there's the concealer, and you can definitely see the orange through it. This is what it would look like without the corrector, and then this is what it looks like with the corrector. So let's try to blend this concealer out with this side right here that I've not yet used. All right, so there you have it. That is what the concealer is supposed to look like, but this is what it ends up looking like on top of something orange like this. Now, let's keep going, shall we? I'm gonna use my forearm. I'm gonna use it here so you guys can see. This is my normal corrector. So this is a corrector that I use on a regular basis. This is what I normally would use underneath my eyes, which is the peach shade. So this is what it looks like here. And that's the Bobbi Brown one. This is my Becca one. I'm gonna use that here. All right, that's how I would apply it. I would apply it with my finger underneath the eyes. Now, let's use the same concealer on top of both of those. A little bit of that there, and a little bit of that there. Now let's go in with the Beauty Blender once again, but I'm gonna use this side right here that I haven't used on anything else. And I'm gonna blend this out on top of this corrector here. Right there like that. And then this next one. Right there like that. So you see, it does have a little hint of peach, but for my complexion, that's what I need. I need like just a little bit of peach in there in order to help combat the dark circles, help cancel out the darkness underneath my eyes for my particular complexion. This and this, you would be able to see it. You would be able to see the orange, and it just, I don't like that. All right, so let's move on. I'm gonna be applying a little bit of foundation. Okay, so now that foundation is done, it is time for concealer. So let's apply a little bit of this. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna be blending out the under eye area using my Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques. Okay, so I can certainly still see the orange right underneath my eyes. I don't know if y'all can tell, but like I can see the orange all through here. So I'm gonna need a little bit more concealer. to hide that. Let's blend a little bit more of this out. All right, so one side is done. Let's try the other side. All right, so I'm having the same issue over here that I did over here, in that you can still see the orange like right along here. So I'm gonna use a little bit more concealer. All right, so there's that. The under eye area is pretty concealed at this point. Let me set this really quickly with a little bit of powder. All right, so now that the under eye area is pretty much done, I'm going to just jump off camera really quick in order to finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and brighten the under eye area with these two powders. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. I'm not quite done with my makeup, but I am done with my face. So now I can go ahead and brighten the under eye area. I'm gonna mix these two and see what that looks like. Or maybe I should just use the peach. I don't know. Should I just use the peach? Let's mix them. Let's mix them. I'm gonna be using my tapered highlighter brush because I feel like that fits my under eye pretty nicely. So let's start here. So it certainly helps brighten, even just with a little bit. Do you see the difference? Like, this is a little bit brighter under here than this over here. Let's try a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so I like what it's doing. I like that it's brightening the under eye area. And you know, I thought it was gonna look really like dry underneath my eyes, and I thought it was gonna be like very, very powdery, like dry, powdery, cakey almost. I thought that that's what I was gonna get, but I'm not getting that with this powder. So pretty surprised, okay? And it looks pretty nice. I think if anything, it like smooths things out underneath my eyes. Surprisingly, not even kidding. Let me zoom you all in so that you can see exactly what's going on underneath the eyes after, you know, everything is said and done. All right, so this is what the under eye area currently looks like. This is after everything is done. I like it because I did apply a setting powder on top of my concealer, and the concealer, you have to remember, is a pretty dry formula. It's a matte formula. And so I thought that it was gonna look really dry underneath the eyes after applying this brightening powder on top of it. But as you can see, it doesn't, or at least I don't feel like it does. It looks pretty good. All right, so this is the final look, and I actually really like the powder. It's a little up there on price. It's $35, so it's up there in price, but I like what it did to the under eye area. It certainly brightened it without making it appear gray or without making it appear chalky or, you know, just looking too dry. Now I just applied it, so I am gonna be coming back at the end of the day to show you all like end of day results after wearing this powder for the entire day. I'm gonna wear this for a few hours. It's currently noon. It's 12:48, so it's almost 1 o'clock. But I am gonna be wearing the powder for a few hours, and yeah, I'll check in with you guys at the end of the night or at the end of the day to see if it wears this nicely all day long. So I'll see you all at the end of the night, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm back. It's the end of the day. I've had this on now for, it's 7:06, so I've had this on now for like a little over 6 hours, something like that, around 6 hours, something like that, I think. I have been sweating on and off because for whatever reason, we're like at the end of December and it's still like 68, 70 degrees outside. It's still really hot. So anyway, and I was wearing a sweater all day. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I like it. Let me zoom you all in before I give you my overall thoughts on the powder and also the corrector. Let me zoom you all in. All right, so here's the under eye area, and it still looks really good. It still looks good. It still looks pretty smooth underneath the eyes. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't look like it's separated, and it doesn't look like excessively dry to me. It still looks really nice. Okay, so I'm not lying when I say that I am genuinely surprised. Like, I am in shock over just how much I actually like these powders here. More than I thought that I would, to be quite honest. I really like them. I like what they're doing to the under eye area. I like how it wore the entire day. I took some pictures with flash for you guys before I started filming, just because I wanted to see whether or not you would get like flashback, because this does have like these little brightening pearls in it that are supposed to help like brighten the under eye area or brighten whatever you place this on top of. And I don't feel like it gives you like a white cast underneath the eyes. And I didn't apply like such a light layer. Like I did apply quite a bit underneath the eyes, as you all saw at the beginning of the day. So I was really, really surprised by that, like pleasantly surprised. Now the color corrector, this I'm really like on the fence about. I wasn't really convinced that this was something that, you know, I was going to continue to use. But now after wearing it for an entire day and seeing that it doesn't dry out the under eye area, because look, the Tarte Shape Tape, this is a matte concealer. It is a matte concealer. Some people find it excessively drying, including myself. Like if you use too much of this, it's gonna look pretty reptile-y underneath the eyes. And if you go too heavy, like if you use it by itself sometimes, if you use it too heavy, if you do too much, it's just gonna look pretty dry underneath the eyes. So that's what I was expecting, because this corrector is not necessarily like a creamy, tacky, like moisturizing barrier. It's very, very thin. It feels really light underneath the eyes, so you don't feel like you have heavy product underneath. I don't feel like the formula is awful. It's actually a nice formula. I'm not a fan of this shade. So when I am going to be using a full coverage concealer and a full coverage foundation, then I will reach for this. Otherwise, I will stick with my peach correctors. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you all. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.